story. News
And relay, wipe my cue, can't have any music.
Police are still searching
Somebody.
for a driver in a deadly hit and run overnight near Southwest 59th
Roby,
and Penn.
white, change.
Plus, a house
Semi-city
catches
camp.
fire during a standoff after a deputy is shot in Ellis County.
White, change.
And fall like
Stand by
temperatures are
default
just
sound.
around the corner. Matt is tracking when we will see highs in the 70s. Newscast this morning starts
Roll
right
D,
now.
this is all sound.
on the scene.
Stand by,
On
camera
the story.
2.
News 9.
Start your
starts
first,
now.
self cue,
Good morning. It is 7 a.m. on this
And
Sunday,
where's it?
September
Stand by the
24th.
boxes.
And the sun just starting to come up
Take
there, huh, Matt?
everyone.
That's right, Dana. This is the
And
last
take
Sunday
Kennedy.
of September. A week from today will be the
And
first
lose it.
day of October. And I'll tell you what, it'll feel
Already.
a lot more like it than it does now. Storm Shield 9, rain on the radar, and it will be on the radar all the way through Wednesday. This begins our big pattern change from summer to fall. Even though fall started on Friday, we'll start
We've
to
got
see
the
the
jib here at
effects
the landing.
starting tomorrow.
Camera
For you
3.
folks out in western Oklahoma, today, as the rain will move in
For
from the
page 1.
panhandles, the cloud cover already increasing out west. The rain will move in,
And we'll
bringing
need to Irish down a
much
little bit
needed
on the
rainfall,
jib.
especially to northwestern Oklahoma, where a moderate drought has crept back into those counties. So
Let's
we'll
go,
be
Dana.
watching this area carefully. One lightning strike in all of this, and it's down into east of Amarillo in the eastern Texas panhandle. Otherwise,
There you go, Jim.
all just rain, no worry of any thunderstorms. We've dropped all the way to 67 degrees at the top of the 7 o'clock hour here in the metro.
Oh, I
The
know.
southeast wind at 7. Our St. Anthony
I see her.
cam live, part of our Air Comfort Sky Cam network. So 68 at 8 o'clock,
Golly,
83 at noon, 87 degrees for a high today. Just a touch cooler than yesterday. Right now, mainly 60s
Stand
and
by the
70s,
jib,
low
stand-
60s
stand
in
by
the
C, stand by
panhandle
jib,
underneath
eh?
the rain. Wind
Area
speeds and
folks.
gusts 5 to 15 to 25 miles per hour out west. So the heat is hanging on just for one more day. Rain on the way as early as this morning, and that true fall weather's on the 9-day. At 7:15, we'll talk about it.
And
All
we'll
right,
see.
Matt, thank you. New
Roll
this
I
morning,
search him out.
Oklahoma City police are searching for the driver
Stand
of
by
a
3.
truck they say hit and killed a pedestrian in southwest Oklahoma City
Search
last
move
night.
3. Zone.
Police were called
Semi
to
8 full.
southwest 59th and Penn just before
The
11.
zone. And
Right
base
now, we're
southwest.
told they are searching for a newer model blue truck with no
Lose it,
tag.
truck left a little
No other
over 3.
suspect information has
And
been
semi 3.
released. The
There you go,
victim's
that's fine.
name hasn't
Hold.
been released yet either.
And search move, take
We're
3.
continuing to
stand
gather new
A.
information about an Ellis County deputy who was
Roll
shot
A.
yesterday.
And
This all started
take-
as a check the welfare
B
call
sample
at
is
a
next.
home in Fargo. We gave you the first look at the
Fargo.
scene after the suspect barricaded himself in his home. The home eventually
Stand by
caught
people,
fire,
so-
but there's no word yet on what caused the fire or the condition of the suspect. We do know the deputy was treated and released from the hospital near Woodward after being shot in the leg. News 9's Marty Logan spoke with the first responders who helped the deputy while the suspect continued to fire shots.
Roby, wipe sound. Enemy
He was
this guy.
on the side of the road out in
Ronald.
front of the house where the shooting occurred.
Lose it. Stand by
So
Dana.
me and
Shot
Aaron,
against
we
the
jumped out of our
We'll wipe to A.
rescue vehicle and ran around to the side of the truck where he was at, which he was facing the house. Our only concern was getting him out of there before he got shot again.
My cue, stand by
I'll stay with News 9 and the News 9 app for the latest.
A. Rolling.
on that.
Wait.
Meanwhile, police are searching for the suspect in a drive-by shooting in northeast
Jim and
Oklahoma
B
City
next.
last
Full
night.
sound for page 4.
Officers say they found one victim near northeast 20th and Coltrane. We're told
Stand
they
by
were
the jib.
transported to the
Stand by
hospital
B.
with unknown injuries. Police say the suspect is possibly a female in a black car.
Roby, sound, dissolve. Search
It's quite an
moves.
extraordinary event.
Slow
It's an
move.
historic event, and
Stand by
the
3.
significance of which goes well beyond
My
Oklahoma.
cue.
An Oklahoma
Oops.
priest
And
is
dissolve.
closer to sainthood.
Stand by A
Father
full sound for
Stanley
a package.
Roeder was honored during a beatification ceremony at the PAX Cox
Stand
Convention
by.
Center. News 9's Deanne Stein was in attendance.
Roll A,
yesterday.
sound, and take.
We have all been praying for
We're
this.
skipping
The
Marcia.
line stretched inside the Cox Convention Center and around the
And I
building
think we can do Josh
as
this
thousands
time.
arrived for an historic mass.
It's a once-in-a-lifetime event, and that's why I
'Cause it
wanted my
cuts to her,
granddaughter
that's
Rebecca
why,
to be
yeah.
able to share.
Josh was
But
fine.
only the first 14,000
With
people got a
Discovery.
seat into the arena for the beatification of Father Stanley Roeder.
Stand
This
by.
is a
Academy.
once-in-a-lifetime experience, and it may be generations before anybody
Mark
can ever
Bishop's
see it
next.
again.
The Archdiocese of Oklahoma City began working on the cause for the Okarchi priest 10 years ago.
It moved
Enemy.
me profoundly, his example, his courage, his witness,
And listen.
and he's always been an inspiration
Sisters
to
next.
me.
The missionary priest was serving the people of Guatemala when he was murdered in 1981. Pope Francis declared him as the first recognized martyr in the U.S. and now the first U.S.-born priest to be
Stand by.
beatified.
It's quite an extraordinary event. It's an historic event, and
Here she
the
comes.
significance
Stand
of
by.
which goes well beyond Oklahoma.
It's very gratifying to know that my brother was that well
Yeah, Lisa.
known
Alright.
and that well accepted by the people.
Nice key.
And that he,
C to 3 at the
he
quad.
served it.
Page 6 is next.
He worked for it.
It's an historic event.
But in order for him to become a saint, Brother will need a miracle.
It's a very rigorous process. It's normally healing of some sort,
Grab
of
7. Here's
a
7.
medical condition that
Forgot to put in
medical
my
science
disc.
can't
Comes back
explain.
Deanne Stein, News
And
9.
roll C. Start.
Happening
to move.
today,
Take
a
three.
rally is being held in
Stand
honor
by.
of a
A,
deaf man
Bill.
shot and killed by an OKC police officer Tuesday. The justice for Magdiel Sanchez rally
Roll
starts
A.
at 1 p.m. at
Take
City
enemy.
Hall. And
C,
coming up in
back
about
to-
a half an hour, we're digging deeper
B's next.
into
Stand by
why
B.
officers aren't required to practice non-lethal combat training on a regular basis.
And roll B.
Meanwhile,
White.
another
Change.
college student killed in a car crash near Tahlequah last week was laid to rest last
A
night.
full sounds next.
Donovan Caldwell was one of 5 students from Northeastern State University who died when their
Picture
car
that,
drove off
semi
a
A.
bridge Sunday night. At his funeral yesterday, everyone chose to remember his wonderful 18 years
Roll
of
A.
life.
And white sound. Oops.
It was
Enemy.
wonderful
Oh,
to
this song's
see
probably better
him
for that anyway.
just
Lose it.
achieve. He did things
Stand
that
by
most
Dana.
18-year-olds
Full line.
never got to do. He lived a full life
My cue.
and got to see a
Oh,
full
double out,
life.
sorry. My
Those
cue.
closest to him say he
C
never
to
met
3
a
at the
stranger
quad, no
and
jib
he
here.
left a
Semi
mark
C,
on
semi
everyone he
3.
met. This was the last funeral for the victims.
Roll C. Start your move.
Covering
Take
the
two.
Capitol, lawmakers will be back in session tomorrow to try and
Stand
fill
by,
the
this
state's
one.
$215 million budget
Thank you.
shortfall.
Enemy.
Governor Fallon issued an
And
executive
that's all,
order for the
thanks.
special session earlier this
Jesus
month.
next.
Fallon wants lawmakers
Stand by
to
for
not
music,
only
stand
address
by.
the shortfall, but also wants long-term solutions to make the state more
Here we
efficient.
are.
We'll have live reports from Aaron Brillbeck at the Capitol beginning
And
tomorrow.
music. Roll A. Wipe and
Silicon
enemy.
President
Stand by
Trump
B.
sparks a war of words with some of our nation's top
Roll B.
athletes.
Wipe and change.
Plus, North Korea's foreign
Stand
minister
by
has a
the
warning
gym.
during his
You
address
got-
to the United
Is that it?
States.
And wipe.
But next,
Start
how
to move.
Oklahomans can honor a jogger
Stand by,
killed in
master.
2013 while helping the United Way of Central.
Is that the graphic? Roll your break and fade. Oh, that's video. My bad. Dang it. No, that was me. Two.
Bob Mills, Sky News 9 in HD.
Here we are.
Brought to you by Bob Mills Furniture.
And start your move and take two.
Welcome back. I'm joined now with Matt Travis, and you
Stand
are
by,
here
Matt.
to talk about
Oh,
a
do you-
coworker of yours.
yeah,
and
next
a
line.
that you guys
No,
have
next line.
right?
Yeah, absolutely. So
Okay,
this is
we
our
got it.
7th
Stand
year
by. Give me
during
his
this
name.
run, and it
His
was in
name.
2014 that we
You don't have Matt
rebranded
Travis?
in the memory of one
You
of
should have
our
Matt Travis,
employees, Robert Brady.
27.
He and I started at Farmers
Yeah,
on the
lose it.
same day, and so he, we lost him in 2013
Okay.
in an
Should
accident.
have it in the next line
And
now.
so he was a guy who just got people involved and kept people engaged. He had a real passion for wellness. He was actually one of the catalysts that got us a running club in our facility, and it's still going strong today. He also loved to give back to community. He got us involved in
Ready to.
the marathon, the Memorial Marathon, so many years ago that we're still involved with. So he was just an amazing guy. And when we lost him in 2013, it just made sense for us to rebrand this race in 2014 in his memory and keep that legacy alive of giving back to community while supporting wellness. So we're doing the race again this year.
The Robert Brady 5K,
Yeah,
right?
so
Okay.
it's the Robert Brady Memorial 5K.
Okay.
Again, in honor of him, we're donating 100% of the proceeds go to the United Way. We think it's a really good way to honor that legacy.
Stand by two.
Gotcha. And that race is
Take.
coming up when?
It's next Saturday
Right there.
night. It's a night race.
Take
We
three.
do it at night to try to keep people out of the heat of the day. It's been really successful for us for that reason. Interestingly enough, it's a really flat,
Ready
really
to.
fast course, and at night, some of our experienced runners get some of their best times of the year at our race. And it's also a great race for new runners to
Take two.
start as well. So,
Gotcha. And there's still time to register then, right?
yeah, so the
Okay.
registration is open online till Tuesday, and it's $25 if you
Nice,
register in
Stuart.
advance online, and then
There we go.
$30 the day of the race. So we encourage everybody
Great,
to go
too.
online the next couple of days. It's a great time. We encourage
times
everybody to
like
bring
this
their
interview?
families out. It's equal
Okay.
parts run as it is family fun night. We have bounce house, snow cones, all kinds of fun stuff for the family. So bring everybody out. It's a great night in memory of a great guy that we'd love to have
Should be
everybody
the
on
last
come
question.
join us.
And again, the proceeds go to the United Way. Right?
Yeah, United Way, 100% of it. We take care of all the costs of the race itself and take care of all the
There we
water
go.
stop and everything like
Ready.
that. So we can
Ready,
do that.
Tim.
100% of the proceeds going to United Way.
Well, Matt, thanks for coming.
Hey,
That
thank
was
you so
great.
much. Appreciate it.
Join us
Music.
next weekend,
Yes.
and we'll put all the information at news9.com. So you
And
can
music.
check it out
Why?
later.
By the way, music.
And what's the weather going to be like
Master.
next weekend? Well, Matt will tell us coming up in his full forecast after the break.
And Roy break. Fade.
Mullen Klein, the
All
red
that
vans that are
weather.
helping
Feel
people
pitch to
all
break.
over
All he takes down. So
On
I
the
want.
scene, on the story, this is News
Is
9.
on cue, man.
All right, how about this start from our Chickasha City Cam, part of our Air Comfort Skycam Network, Chickasha, southwest of Oklahoma City, down in Grady County, and just a beautiful shot there of the sky being illuminated by the sun. We have those high cirrus clouds coming in ahead of our next system, and we'll have a lot more of that cloud cover around central Oklahoma
animate this guy if you have
today.
it, right?
Notice a little
Thank
bit
you.
of a breeze out there, not a stiff breeze, but a steady breeze at about 10 to 20 miles per hour this morning. Same kind of look from our Regency
I'm glad you're
cam,
paying
looking
attention
to the
to our show, Ray.
southeast from Regency Tower
Always.
in downtown Oklahoma City, again, part of our Air Comfort Skycam Network. 67
Okay.
degrees and a southeast wind at
He's gonna let me
7,
down.
sunrise about 5 minutes away at 7:20, so just looking like a spectacular morning. And those of you out west in western Oklahoma are
Yep, I will.
bringing in the rain, waving your arms, get over here and stay here, and it will for the next 2, 3, 4 days. We'll have good on and off rain chances, mainly for western Oklahoma.
Do you have these silent
As
there,
the system is currently over Utah, it will bring
Cameron?
that line of rain
Yeah.
into
Let me make
western
sure this
Oklahoma,
rolls. Yep,
and
okay,
it's
cool.
certainly needed there, especially through Harper County, where there's a bit of a moderate drought
All right,
going
cool.
on right now. So all the rain that is expected over the next 2, 3, 4 days will be very welcome rain there in that part of the state. Back here in
I
the
just wanna
metro,
make
it's
sure
the
this
last day
played,
of the state
so-
fair.
Thought it
Be
would.
sure to make it out there today. Weather, not too bad, a little on the warm side, 60s and 70s this morning. Pleasant if you want to get an early start on the fair, but if you're headed out there maybe after lunch or after church, winds will come up 15 to 20 miles per hour. Temperatures will come up as well. But unlike yesterday, we'll probably have a little more cloud cover out there, so some more natural shade, and temperatures probably won't be as oppressive as they were yesterday. Felt like the low 90s out there yesterday. Cooler in the Panhandle underneath the rain, 61 in Guyman, otherwise upper 60s, low 70s out there across the state. Pretty uniform temperatures. Southeast wind gust anywhere from 5 to 15 miles per hour. Wind picks up just a touch out west, 10 to about 20 miles per hour there. So there's those high clouds moving in from the west. We'll have those around for the day. More cloud cover out west, and you see that storm system stretches basically from border to border, north to south across our nation, with the anchoring low pressure system right over Salt Lake City right now, and this will eventually move east slowly over the course of about 4 days or so, bringing rain into Oklahoma all throughout this early week. Highs today, upper 80s, a few low 90s down in south central
I need
and
to start-
southeastern
get a
Oklahoma.
record ready.
The rain moves in this morning into western Oklahoma. Won't
Boy, I
last
really
all
put the
day. It'll
program.
fizzle out tonight, but then get a resurgence
I mean, it'd be
tomorrow
helpful.
as the
Very.
cold front gets closer. Some thunderstorms likely in the Panhandle tomorrow morning, and then by tomorrow evening, more rain and thunderstorms for northwest Oklahoma. Not expecting severe weather, but some good soaking rain. There's your cold front getting a little bit closer, and then finally we have the cold front moving in by Tuesday around lunchtime with more rain out west. It may take all day on Tuesday for that rain to get here into the metro, but it will. And it'll be a good rain. So for today, mainly out west will be your rain chances.
It's just
We stay
weather.
dry in central Oklahoma today. Now tomorrow, little bit better chance, but again, most of the rain
Not the
stays
23rd.
out west, and then by Tuesday, that's when we start to bring that rain into the metro. The timing could be an issue. This could be late Tuesday. It could be overnight Tuesday into early Wednesday. We'll have to watch. But our
He's
best
about
rain
done
chances
here.
definitely going to be Tuesday and Wednesday. 80s will turn into 70s into 60s by Wednesday. Look at those lows dropping to near 40s by next weekend. Of course, next Sunday
Remember,
is
he's
October
pitching the break
1st.
here.
A very fall-looking forecast all the way through next
All right,
week.
7 by
Sports is
Master.
up next.
And Ray break. And fade this. Alright. Okie doke.
If you're watching
Animate this
on
guy.
Twitter, September 24th, last day of the
Lose it.
Oklahoma State Fair and last Sunday of September. October just around the corner. Last state fair day, 60s and 70s will turn into 80s. I think we'll have a little more cloud cover, a bit of a breeze today, so that should help with the heat. 87 at 4 o'clock, southeast winds, 15 to 20 miles per hour around and just after lunchtime. Across the rest of the state, will be warm to hot, especially south central and eastern Oklahoma, 90s there. But far western Oklahoma, cloud cover, low 80s, and rain for western Oklahoma. We'll bring that rain in around lunchtime, and then it will start to fizzle as we get into tonight. But with the cold front moving into the panhandle tomorrow morning, that's our second round of rain, and it will be kind of round after round here, Monday into Monday evening, and eventually into Tuesday morning as the cold front starts to scoot through the state. So by Tuesday at lunchtime, more rain out west. That's where it's needed. We need it in northern Oklahoma too. It's going to be nice to have it all across the state. So for today, chance of rain and storms, 30% out west, and then increasing as you head into the panhandle. We'll bring it east tomorrow, much better chance out west. And then by Tuesday into Wednesday, that's when our highest chances will spread from western into central Oklahoma. Again, thunderstorms will be possible, but not expecting severe weather. Justin will have more details in your complete forecast later this evening.
And faded. Thank you, folks.
In a marathon of a football game that lasted over 4 hours, Oklahoma keeps its season alive. Not because of what the defense did, but because the offense came through 2 specific times. Baker Mayfield, after a 15-yard
Matt, if you're back, it's all yours.
Play with a boundary route, a wheel route to Jeff Badette for a touchdown. And then Trey Sermon, who hadn't played for 3 quarters plus, comes into the game, and he carries the football virtually every down and just owns the rest of the game for Oklahoma. In fact, at halftime, Oklahoma only had 12 yards rushing on 11 attempts outside of a 99-yard run.
The plan was just to run the ball hard, and we have a lot of great backs and just a really good rotation.
What was the key to your success?
Really just running hard and just following the offensive line.
You got perseverance. You can't expect everyone's going to be a blowout. You're going to have tight games like that. And this is a good conference. It's a good league. It's a good opponent. I've told people all week, they're getting a lot of guys back. They're getting better and better. This is going to be a tough game. And so you got to hang in there. You got to keep swinging. And our guys did that, made enough plays to win.
So that's 13 straight road wins. That's 14 wins straight overall, nation's best. And 14 games of Baker Mayfield's offense scoring at least 30 points. You know, to win a championship, you're going to have to win close games. But Baylor, the Baylor team that lost to Liberty, I mean, come on. Oklahoma's defense is going to have to get it back together and play more closely like it played against Ohio State than what it did here tonight. On the scene, on the story from Waco, Texas, I'm Dean Blevins.
Thanks a lot, Dean. Oklahoma State finally gave up some points in the first quarter this season. The Pokes led 7-6 though after the first, but TCU responds with 14 points in the second quarter yesterday. It's one of those unpredictable Saturdays, I guess. The number 6 team in the country was forced to play catch-up down 20 in the fourth. Mason Rudolph will run it in. The Pokes trail 37-24. Same score about 3 minutes later. The Pokes in full comeback mode. They have the momentum, but J.J. McCleskey on the trick play overthrows his man. The Cowboys are denied. Oklahoma State would pull to within 6, but TCU would put the game away on this touchdown run. Stunner in Stillwater. Horned Frogs win at 44-31. John Holken wraps it up from Boone Pickett Stadium.
On this day, outside of another long Mason Rudolph to James Washington scoring connection, a sloppy penalty-filled first half against TCU was just the opposite. 6 penalties and a lost fumble combined to help the Frogs to a 10-point lead.
This was the first game that we didn't defend the run very well. In the big picture, in most cases, if you don't defend the run very well, you're kind of on your heels.
TCU built that lead to 20 at 37-17 with 12 minutes to play before the Cowboys rallied. 2 touchdowns made it a 6-point game with 3:03 left. But TCU had too many third down answers. The final one courtesy of Darius Anderson, his 3rd TD run capping a 160-yard day. Overall, the Frogs were 11 of 19 on 3rd down, in some cases taking advantage of the Cowboys' younger defenders. OSU falls to 3-1 with a 44-31 loss in the Big 12 opener.
They were moving the ball really whenever they felt like it, and we can't do that on defense. We got to bow up better and get off the field and get turnovers for our offense and steal possessions.
TCU had balance, rushing for 238 yards and passing for 228 more, and the Frogs defense sacked Mason Rudolph 3 times. The Cowboys were without starting offensive linemen Zach Crabtree and Larry Williams, and that didn't help. But TCU was just the better team on this day. On the scene, on the story in Stillwater, I'm John Holton. Thank you, John. It will be Texas Tech and the Cowboys next Saturday in Lubbock. Meanwhile, the Sooners are off the extra weekend. That's a wrap on your morning sports. Have a great Sunday, Oklahoma.
All right, folks. We are 2 outstanding minutes. And Roldy and take sound.
On the scene
Stand
of
by.
the story, News 9
Rolling,
starts now.
wet my cue, key,
Right now on
and
News 9, in light of a deadly officer-involved shooting this week, some experts say police should put more emphasis on non-lethal combat.
White change.
Plus, President
Stand by,
Trump
city
has a
can.
falling out with some of the nation's top athletes.
White change.
And taking a light look outside, warmer weather will be around for at least
Stand by,
another
camera
day
3.
before rain and cooler temperatures.
Start to move. Dissolve. Anime.
29
Rain.
on your Sunday
Stand
morning.
by,
Good morning.
2
Let's
box.
check back in with Matt,
Okay.
who has an
Ready,
update
one?
on the day ahead. Hi, Matt.
Good morning, Dana. Sunrise occurring about 10
what'd she
minutes
say?
ago here in
Hi,
Oklahoma
hi,
City, and
hi,
you
hi,
can
man.
see it
Don't lose
just
it.
above the horizon from our St. Anthony Cam out in Midwest City, part of our Air Comfort Sky Cam network. Those high cirrus clouds starting to dot the sky. Now that's ahead of our next storm system, which is about to start bringing rain into western parts of our viewing area. 67 degrees now, a southeast wind at 7 here in Oklahoma City. There's the rain I was just mentioning. Now moving into Beaver County, about to
Alrighty.
move into Miami and
Page
Canadian
52
Texas and the
next.
eastern panhandle. All of
C,
this will spread into
ABA.
far western Oklahoma later this morning, and as of right now, there are no lightning strikes with any of this. So it's just good old-fashioned fall rain that is going to really start to change our entire weather pattern and our entire forecast for the coming week. It's going to be very nice if you've been waiting for that fall weather. If you want summer to hang on a little longer, I can give you today, but that's about it. 83 degrees at noon, 87 degrees for a high temperature today. Around central Oklahoma, 60s, 70s. A nice start to the morning with a little bit of a breeze up to about 10 to 15 miles per hour. So the heat hangs on one more day, rain on the way, and that true fall weather on the way as well.
Here we go,
Until
step by
it's
C.
7:45.
And
A lot
roll
of people
C.
looking forward to that.
And roll I
Matt.
take.
Thank you.
And
I'll look
then
at our
music.
top stories this morning. Police are searching for the
Sorry.
driver of a truck who they say hit
Stand
and
by B.
killed a pedestrian overnight. Right now, we know officers
Use
are
this
looking
one
for a
instead.
newer
Stand by
model
B.
blue truck. The name of the victim hasn't been released.
Roll B. White change.
In Ellis County, a deputy is
too
recovering
fast.
after being
I
shot in the leg during a welfare call yesterday. Officers say the
Stand by A.
suspect barricaded himself in his house near Fargo, which eventually caught fire. There's no word on that suspect's
Roll A.
condition.
Change white.
And an Oklahoma priest is one step closer to
landing.
sainthood.
Stand by B.
Yesterday, Father Stanley Rother was honored during a beatification ceremony at Cox Convention Center. Now Rother needs to have a miracle to become a
Stretch
saint.
with 3. And take.
Following the shooting death of a deaf man by an
C
Oklahoma
day
City
for a
police
package.
officer this week, we're digging
Stand by
deeper
C,
into the
stand by A.
non-lethal combat training the department provides. And as News 9's Jesse Mitchell learned, the officers aren't required to practice those tactics on a
Roll
regular
C.
basis.
And roll I. Take sound.
And of course, the takedown.
In the
Sensei
Hoshin Dojo,
Charles.
Sensei Charles
He's coming
Wallace
up here,
offers
stand by his
multiple
name.
cleat-certified courses in martial arts, but his students pay out of pocket to attend.
There really
Henry.
should be a requirement for hand-to-hand.
And lose
Because
it.
at the end of the day,
That's all I got.
drawing a weapon's not always perfect.
Wallace
Okay.
says besides taking a one-time combat course, it's repetition that makes the moves muscle memory. He believes these techniques may have saved Magdiel
tag
Sanchez's
too
life,
tight.
despite him carrying a pipe used to fend off stray dogs on his daily walks. Another cleat-certified instructor and Marine veteran, Tim Easton, agrees, recommending the flank and attack method to disarm Sanchez.
If he goes and does a sudden movement to the individual side, and then his partner gets him from the other side, they can take him down.
Both experts agree police departments need to put more emphasis on non-lethal combat.
The desire is there. The problem that I've seen historically from my personal experiences
Like the behind the
is that
scenes
the
shot on
training
camera
is
3 there.
In its absence, officers are placed in high-stress encounters and automatically go with the weapon they know, a gun.
You don't know which one is a criminal, or which one's gonna be violent, which one's
Okay, getting
on
close
drugs.
here. Stand by
So,
camera 2.
they have a very short amount of time to make a split-second decision.
Here we are.
Jesse Mitchell, News 9.
And take you.
Next week, all commissioned officers will
C
go
to
through
April sound.
annual
Stand
training
by C,
specifically
stand by A.
focusing on interactions with disabled citizens.
And roll C. Roll I take sound.
By
Animate this guy.
acting and not going, hopefully that will
What is it? Stand by Dana.
inspire some change when it comes to what we tolerate in this country and what is accepted.
My cue.
Some of the nation's
Beatful
top
sound is
athletes
next.
are fighting back after comments made by President Trump. Golden State Warriors say they will not visit the White
Stand
House
by,
after the
B.
president withdraws the invitation for the NBA champs. President Trump is also facing backlash from the NFL after criticizing football players for kneeling during the national anthem.
Roll B. And wipe sound.
Wouldn't you love to see one of these
Stand by
NFL
Dana.
owners,
He's
when
fired,
somebody
Leo.
disrespects our flag, to say, get that son of a off the field right now, out, he's fired.
My cue.
Several other athletes
Stand by
issued
C
statements
to
about the
2.
president's comments, including NBA
Here we
stars
are.
LeBron James and Chris Paul.
Roll C. And
Around
start
the
to
world,
move.
the North Korea's
Two. Stand
foreign
by
minister
A.
spoke at the UN yesterday, just moments after U.S. bombers flew off North
Roll
Korea's
A.
coast as a show of force.
Take
The Pentagon confirms they
To the
showed off
radars,
its
P
bombers in
and B
response
next.
to North Korea's, quote, reckless behavior. Meanwhile, the North Korean minister claims
Stand by
the
2 and
Security
B.
Council performed illegal resolutions and President Trump will pay for his
Roll
speech
B.
last week.
Start to move. Take.
2 more
Stand by
earthquakes
B.
shake
Boom.
southern Mexico as the death toll from this week's 7.1
And
magnitude
dissolve,
earthquake
anime.
continues to grow. A magnitude of 6.1
And lose
quake
it.
shook south of Mexico
Jesus
City
next,
yesterday
stand by
morning,
the
followed by a
jab.
4.5 quake later that evening. Right now, officials say more than 300 people
You got a
were
banner for
killed
this?
in Tuesday's
Okay.
earthquake.
Music. Start to move. Wipe.
So coming on
Anime.
News 9 this morning,
Stand by
lawmakers
A.
are back at the Capitol tomorrow, but who should be paying for this special session? That's in today's Jury
Roll A.
Accounts.
Wipe and change.
And next,
Stand
an
by, master.
Oklahoma parent's mission to help avoid bullying for the way he looks.
And ready break. And bed this. Alrighty.
Before Rainbow struggle.
Getting close. Lesson 5. Here we are. Going ducks. Start to move. Take. Thanks.
Welcome back.
Stand by A.
An Elgin woman moved by the story of a boy who is bullied because of his looks is collecting
Roll A.
letters to send to Idaho.
Take.
The boy's father
samples
posted
next.
about his 7-year-old struggles on
Stand by
Facebook.
B.
You may have seen it, asking parents to educate their kids about special needs. Well, when Inga Wells saw the viral post, she decided to send some
Roll
encouragement.
B. Sound. Wipe.
I just
Anime.
wanted to be
Inga.
able to extend that same
Lose
power
it.
of love that we give
Sorry,
within
Mike.
our own community, extend that further, and this is going to go all the way to Idaho.
My cue.
Wells plans to
Stand by
send her
2
first
and
batch
A.
of letters
And stand by C
tomorrow.
first. Roll C.
Well, the big news of the day
Roll
for the
A,
Thunder
switch
was the trade for Carmelo Anthony. Steve broke down the trade to
Stand by
sports, but
Beeple
we're getting a
sound.
reaction from a fan favorite headed to the New York Knicks. Ennis Cantor says he will be forever thankful for his time with the Thunder.
Roll B. Sound. And take.
When I
Anime.
lost my family and when I lost home, you guys
Lose
gave
it.
me that.
So my
You
mic.
guys gave me- So that's why Oklahoma and this organization, whole state, will be always in my heart.
My cue.
Man, I'm going to miss that guy. He
Somebody
goes
miss
on
one
to
and
beg
eight.
the Thunder to beat Golden State this year. The Thunder's first meeting with the Warriors is November
Roll A.
22nd.
And Canome.
But before they face off with the defending NBA champions, the Thunder will host Media Day tomorrow. Can you believe it already? The Thunder are tipping off their 10th season in OKC. You
Two
can
in
watch
effects.
interviews with players and coaches on the News 9 app.
Stand by 2 and
Plus,
effects.
Thunder reporter Steve McGehee will have reports tomorrow night. Then training camp starts Tuesday.
Anime take.
Meanwhile, Thunder star Russell Westbrook is bringing you an evening of laughter for a
Jesus
good
next
cause.
city
Friday,
camp.
October 13th, Westbrook and Demetrius Juice Deason are
Oh,
teaming
there we
up for the second annual Why
Stand by
Not
for
Comedy
music.
Show.
Stand by city
Tickets
camp.
start at $40. Proceeds will go to the
Here we are.
YWCA of Oklahoma City. The event will be at the newly reopened Tower Theater at 7 o'clock.
Music. Wipe.
Let's
Canome.
take a
Stand by
live look
master.
outside there. The sun finally up over downtown Oklahoma City. A hot day today, but fall temperatures coming up, and that's full forecast.
And ready break. Made this.
Guaranteed low prices.
That's right. Here we are. And roll the take sound. Stand by 1 on
the score.
Batman.
This is News 9.
My cue is off.
Welcome back. We'll start with a live
Oops.
look from our tower cam here at
Hey,
News 9,
take.
part of our Air Comfort Skycam network. Right here at
Where
the
you at,
corner
Matt?
of Kelly and Wilshire, looking south toward downtown, the state capitol building there on your left.
Did not get lost.
Beautiful shot there. A little hazy this morning, some moisture out there.
There he is.
And a little bit of a breeze
G'day,
as
Mike.
well. Temperature-wise,
Keep
67
in.
degrees.
Sorry.
A southeast wind at 7, so not a bad morning. A
How do I know?
little cool outside, but This will likely be our high temperature.
Okay, it's all
on
met. We'll go to break
Wednesday.
off
So
of
big changes
after Mac
coming
gets done
on
on
that
9
Monday.
day.
We're basically going to
We'll
step
set 7
through the
day.
doorway to fall. It's going to happen just that fast. As that cold front comes through, you'll notice
7
an
days is a thing of the
instant
past.
difference out there. We'll start with the rain. This is the beginning of that system. Now, this is not the cold
So,
front, but this is the
topics are
beginning
all good
of the system
for
pushing
your
some
accounts
lift
and all
in
that
the
stuff?
atmosphere, some
Okay.
energy into the
I
state,
haven't.
producing rainfall, thankfully.
We're so
without any
used to having to do
thunderstorm
that
activity.
ourselves
All
on
rain at
Friday,
this
so.
point, and it's moving in to northwestern Harper County right as I speak here between Slapout and May and Buffalo. This is where that moderate drought
Gotcha.
is, so it's fitting
And
that
you're
the rain
you're gonna
begins
take care of this
falling
clock too in
there.
the back,
It will
right?
move
7
into
minutes
our
or
far
whatever,
western
7.5
counties
or
later this
whatever it
morning
is, 6.5.
and continue off and on eastwards through at
Yeah.
least Wednesday, possibly early Thursday morning.
Gotcha.
But
You
at
got it.
least through Wednesday. It is also the last day, excuse me, for the Oklahoma State Fair. Hope you're able to make it out and donate to the Regional Food Bank, the Food for Kids program at the News 9 Temple just inside
Hold on.
Gate 1 on the north side
I'm
of
back
the
on
fairgrounds
producer
south
now.
of
You
Bank
asked about
Avenue.
the
So
clock,
come on
weren't
out
you?
and say hello. 76 at 10
I
o'clock
saw it on
after
TD
lunch
when,
today. More
we were
cloud
done with
cover.
earlier.
Bit of a breeze out of the south, 15 to 20, and temperatures in the mid to upper 80s. Should be a fine
Oh.
day out there. Current temperatures.
Sorry.
Cooler
I
weather
thought I
already
did
in
already.
the western panhandle. 57
3-1.
out in far western
No, thank
parts
you.
of the panhandle. 60
Flip
and
those.
61 for Guyman.
Hold
Then
on. Whoops.
more upper 60s and low
I'm still not
70s
with it
across
today.
the main body of the state. Winds
There you
aren't
go.
terribly strong right now out of the southeast, gusting at most to nearly 25 miles per hour.
I know, right?
We'll have winds gusting to about that in western Oklahoma today.
I think I've done enough of these
and a
when
few
we record
90s
them on
out there,
Friday.
but look at the 70s out in the panhandle. That's a taste of things to come today.
Okay, so
Normal high is
Scott
81
won't
here in the
have
metro.
an
We'll
ice
turn
cream,
in
correct?
87
Really?
this afternoon.
No,
So we'll
he
bring the rain
normally
into western
doesn't, yeah.
Oklahoma. Starting
Well,
later this
he had
morning.
talked
That's
at one
just the
point
beginning.
about wanting
Clouds
one,
increase
and
across
then
the
he
state.
just
Tonight the rain
never
fizzles out, but
took
notice
it every
the
time
cold
I gave
front
it to him,
moving
so
into the panhandle
I stopped
early
offering.
tomorrow morning at 9
Okay,
o'clock.
so during the
next
break,
round of rain
can
comes into
you
western
guys
Oklahoma
remind
Monday
him
morning.
that
And
the
then
clock is gonna be
another
set for
round
7
Monday
minutes,
evening
and
as
then
the
we're
cold
gonna
front
go to
gets a
the
little
clock to
closer.
the end of the
Already
show.
looking better out
So
there with
just
that
give him a-
drought
just remind
taking
him
the
of
brunt of the rainfall. And then by Tuesday morning, the front starts to move into
Yeah,
the main
and then
body of the state on
their 7
western
minutes is
Oklahoma,
up. I'm going
and
to
that will bring
reset
the
it
bulk
for the
of
end
the
of the
rainfall
show.
into the
Right,
state
yeah.
and into central
So
Oklahoma,
he's gotta
likely
just
late
be real
Tuesday
careful with
into
this.
Wednesday. The system has slowed down a little bit over the past few days, so those rain chances are shifting.
So you guys got a jib
more
idea
from
for
Tuesday
this
into Tuesday
pitch?
and Wednesday. So for today, showers, a few thunderstorms possible. I'm not expecting severe weather, no
Put,
storm zone to look at.
Regency and
Just
the
a
right
30% chance
RSP
of
for
rain,
the
a
closing
couple of storms
shot.
possible, 40% in
or
Woodward,
behind 'em.
80% out in the Panhandle. And then tomorrow,
What do you think of that, Taylor?
we'll bring it east a little more. So more folks get in on the rain.
We wanna be able
out
to see the
west
anchors.
Tomorrow, 80% chance there. Just a 40%
Well, if we
chance
do it on
most
the
of
other side, we'll
stay
probably see
dry
the backside
in
of
the metro tomorrow.
Leslie.
Then on Tuesday,
If you think about
a
it
little
now.
further east. Already
I
looking
don't know.
good Tuesday into Wednesday. A lot of this, especially in central
think you
Oklahoma,
would, but
will be later
I have no
on
idea.
Tuesday into early Wednesday. And then Wednesday, those rain chances have been increasing.
They
May
were
have to
thinking
go
the
higher
other
on the rain
side,
chances if this system
since
slows
it's
down a little
pitching
more. But
from-
look at the temperatures go
But then
from
the question is, can you
87
get the jib over
today
there with the
to
camera
67,
cables?
a 20-degree fall between now and Wednesday.
I think they were going to
Temperatures
do an
will
up and
follow
over.
suit.
Is that what you guys were thinking of?
Mid-50s late week. By next weekend, we're flirting with upper 40s.
There you go. I see what they're
Here
doing.
in the metro, which means we'll have
Yeah,
storms
she's all right
across
with
the
that.
state.
Yeah,
First
that's
day of
right. I
October
remember
is
Devin
next
saying
Sunday.
that. All right,
Folks,
stand by,
fall
Master.
is here. We'll take a break. Your vote counts as live next.
And roll your brake. And fade it. Here we go.
Next Gen Live.
All right.
How about fleas?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and roll D and take semi-2, search push.
All right, here we
So,
go. We are finally at the time for special
And
session.
up.
We've got a big announcement in just a minute, so stay tuned. So
Stand
let's
by the
start with
$2.
special session. It was an odd week. It was dueling press releases. Some people who apparently aren't on the table for paying for it. The people that need the money were very quiet. The Republicans dueling Representative, what in the world's going on?
Well, I wish I could tell you that I knew what was going on, but we did caucus this week. We came up
That
with
sound you
a
had
new
didn't sound
plan
too
was
bad,
suggested,
Cameron. I kind of
but
liked it.
not sure if that's the direction we will go or not. To be honest, we're coming in tomorrow
Whoops.
and we're not
I
really
didn't mean
sure
to do
what
that,
will
but
be
that'll
happening.
look better.
So it's my understanding that we're seeing a lot of press releases going out back and forth, but there still hasn't been a sit down with all the principals at the table. So hopefully we can come together and find a quick solution, because it's going to be costing us $30,000 a day for the taxpayers.
Well, and nothing moves public opinion like press releases. It's unbelievable how we badly communicate advocacy in Oklahoma. What do you think, Representative? Where's this going to go?
Go around.
Well, first of all, I'd like to say that the House Democrats have had our Restore Oklahoma plan since last March. So for 6 months now, we have had a plan in order to put our state back on the right track. This dueling press releases between the Speaker of the House and the Governor this week were really unfortunate. You have a governor who's now calling for the legislature to do the right thing, to put revenue on her desk so that we can put our state on the right track. And you have a Republican House of Representatives right now that has basically said, no, we're going to send you cuts and we're going to see what happens. So right now we're in a staring match, and all of it starts tomorrow.
For those of you who are interested, what we're joking about press releases, they don't work. Okay, so, but go ahead and pay for them. Somebody's going to make all this stuff. All right, there are other bills besides what we've been talking about being filed with the legislature. I didn't know that until I started looking at what's going on out there. What else might come up?
Well, I think this just shows the dysfunction of special session right now, that there are other bills that have come up during a period of time when what we need right now is revenue in order to put our state on the right track. I mean, we need to have revenue in order to invest in the core services of government that you at home and I myself care about. There's been a lot of talk about doing a teacher pay raise during special session, but I can tell you this, there will not be a teacher pay raise unless we raise revenue by restoring income taxes back to a reasonable rate and raising the gross production tax. Without those two things, there just won't be the money for a teacher pay raise, and it's just unfortunate to keep telling teachers that they have a chance.
Yeah, you can keep it wide too. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, it doesn't have to be a push. Yeah, start there and then boom up.
Well, not necessarily, but I will say there is going to be a cleanup bill. The auto excise fee that was lifted, the governor did put that in her call. There was an unintended consequence that went out to large trucking firms across the state that actually would have made it where they would not purchase or tag their trailers in the state because it was so prohibitive compared to other states. That's a good thing. That's a fix that we will probably address while we come back in. Also, it was an interesting week because oil companies kind of went against each other this week. The vertical drillers came out and said we need to raise the gross production tax. It's not high enough, and the horizontal said leave us off the table.
It's interesting. We'll see how that continues because, listen, stay tuned to News 9 on this. All right. Something else impactful happened this week. It was the announcement that President Boren, 5 decades of impact on the state of Oklahoma as governor, United States Senator, President of the University of Oklahoma stepping aside. What is his legacy?
Oh, I think that he has a fabulous legacy. I mean, how often do you have a state university president who's been a U.S. senator, who has been a governor, who has the heritage that he had? There is no doubt that under the regime of David Boren that there have been market improvements. There's been huge endowments. There's been buildings built by private dollars all across the university. I believe they have one of the highest rates in the nation of scholars coming in from all other states, the National Merit Scholars. So I'd like to say thank you to David Boren for his service. I believe he'll be serving until June, and then we will see a new president at OU.
Came in as governor in the wake of the scandal.
Mike,
became a United States senator. Was involved in the Clinton healthcare issue. Was the guy who put a stop to that. And then the teacher pay raise issue from a couple of years ago. What do you think is the legacy of this man?
Well, I think big thanks to David Boren for continuing
this is the third topic,
legacy at the University of Oklahoma.
The next one we don't run the clock.
OU graduate myself. It's such an honor to have had him steer that ship for so long. And right now, in this era of politics where it's constantly nitpicking at each other, I think one thing that we can look at President Boren at is just being a true statesman, someone that has led from the front, someone that has pulled people up with him and done such a great job at the University of Oklahoma. And it's sad to see him move on, but he won't be
That's
forgotten.
fine.
You think of David Boren, you think of a rich legacy of the past. Now, here's the thing we want to tell you this morning. This is the most watched political segment in Oklahoma, hands down. Partially because
you can leave it at 0 just like that, man. That's perfect.
Sitting to my left, Representative Leslie Osborne. She's running for statewide office. And because of that, she's going to be stepping aside for the duration of the campaign. We'll see after that. But we want to salute her this morning, and we'll start with our colleague, Jason Dunnington. Your thoughts about this lady on the left?
Okay.
Well, first, it's really unfortunate that this lady's opponent in politics has asked her to be removed from the show. It's been such an honor to be on the show with her for this period of time. I think that together on here we've showed that working on issues together by having a bipartisan look at things in this state is what people have really wanted. And I am just excited to see her move on and have the opportunity to not only run for statewide office, but to be our next labor commissioner. And I support her and her efforts and what she does. And I think that Leslie Osborne is a real leader in the state of Oklahoma.
And Representative, you have your closing remarks.
Okay. Well, I have to admit it's been kind of a disappointing week learning that my opponent and her team had demanded my ouster. But at the end of the day, can I just say thank you to Channel 9 for what an opportunity this has been the last several years. You know, we started with Richard Morissette. He was fun to work with. It was always a vivacious show. But what was really interesting about Jason and I is I believe that people saw that we were friends, that worked across the aisle together. And in America and Oklahoma right now, so many people don't believe in civil discourse anymore. They don't believe in bipartisan efforts. They want to party up and go to their corners, and it's ugly and it doesn't work. Jason and I are the kind that both believe that we could show you that you don't have to be a Democrat or Republican, that you could come together as Oklahomans for solutions. And I want to thank you for the opportunity, Channel 9, for giving us that opportunity to be in your living rooms every Sunday morning. And thank you to Scott Mitchell for that opportunity
Stand by
as well.
And we've shown Sooners and Cowboys.
Yeah, absolutely.
1 minute show.
Back to you, thank you.
And Sergeant with Jeb and Zong,
we will miss you,
change
Leslie,
it to News on Nothing. Don't worry about it. I can't hear her.
All right, so one last check
Stand
out
by one,
weather, huh?
and Zong. Semi-city weather.
I unfloated the full screen if you want to take it.
That's fine. I'll go straight from it for the 7 day.
The cold front
Is there anything
arrives
else?
here on Tuesday.
That's it?
That's
Okay.
when those 80s will turn into 70s, and on Wednesday we may not get out of the 60s.
Stand by
with
this
the
one.
clouds and the
30.
rain. We'll barely get out of them on
This one,
Thursday.
right?
Lows will drop into the
Is it
low
this
and
one?
mid-50s. I'm telling you,
Okay,
you'll have
thanks.
to get those coats out of the closet by next weekend. You may need
Are we
them
straight up
both
8 o'clock
mornings.
again?
Dana loves
what's
to
our
hear
off
this
time?
because, you know, summer, we extended it as long as we
15.
could past the first day of fall.
We don't got time, all right?
Fall
No.
finally here and on the
10.
end of that.
Stand by
Nine.
copyright.
8,
Zong,
7,
right?
That's our time.
Six.
Stand by master.
5, 4, 3, 2,
And
1.
break. Fade. That was all right.
For all of your culinary needs,
Good job, folks.
cooking utensils to high
I left the banner in, but
to
that's all
dressy
right.
tabletop decorations. Come to where high
Cake.
performance meets high style.
Well,
Culinary kitchen located
never
at
turned out
7222
cake.
Northwest